السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. هذه هي الحلقة الثامنة لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية لقسم الدعوة والاحتساب لطلاب وطالبات تعليم عن بعد. وهذه الحلقة الثامنة هي إن شاء الله سوف تبدأ بعنوان Focus on Writing. طبعا كل 4 دروس نختم الدرس الرابع Focus on Writing، نحاول التركيز على الكتابة. So we will focus on writing. We'll have some exercises here. So the most of the words and the grammar that you learned in that unit. For example, here we have unit 7. So we use it in this section, which is focus on writing. So try to study together how to write English using some words that we have learned from this section. So let's just start this lesson, which is focus on writing, style, parallel, structure. So if you check your book, open your book, page 128. So we will have style, parallel, structure. So if you go to the first slide, which is parallel structure. So the exercise says, read the following sentences taken from the story of I Love Lucy. Label the subjects and verbs in each sentence. So we have here 2 sentences here. So try to label the subject and the verb. So Dizzy clearly describes and carefully summarized what his ideas for the show were. So if we just try to focus on this sentence, we will come out with the Dizzy. Dizzy is the subject of the sentence. Usually in English, we start with subject, and then the subject is followed by a verb. So Dizzy is the subject of this sentence, right? And the verb, I think you know the verb here. It's very clear, the verb. So the verb here is describes. The verb of this sentence is describes. Therefore, the subject is Dizzy, and the verb is describes. If we go to next sentence, also, we have another sentence, which is Ricky and Lucy would be very much in love with each other. So what is the subject here? So the subject is Ricky and Lucy. So, and the verb is a group of words like would be. So sometimes a verb can be 1 word or 2, right? So we have 2 words here. So the verb is would be. So we have the subject and verb. We have subject and verb. So now we go to next slide. We say the writers use parallel structure when they put 2 or 3 words or phrases of the same part of speech together in a series. The use of parallel structure allows writers to express several ideas in one sentence and to express these ideas clearly. So one example is, I think this tension between feeling loved and feeling afraid made the show more exciting and funnier to watch. So the parallel structure that we should have 2 words or 3 words or phrases of the same part of speech. Sometimes verb, sometimes adjective, sometimes adverb, and sometimes maybe subjects. So we have here the parallel structure, feeling loved with feeling afraid, and also we have another one which is more exciting and more funnier. So more exciting and funnier. So we have 2 parallel structures in this sentence. So the next one is 2 ideas. 2 ideas can be expressed in one sentence, right? So when he raises his eyebrows, we know that everything is going to be all right. When he smiles, we know that everything is going to be all right. And also, when he raises his eyebrows and smiles, we know that everything is going to be all right. So we combined the 2 verbs, which are raises and smiles, in one sentence. So and we come up with one sentence. Instead of having 2 sentences, we have only 1 sentence using parallel structure. Next one, a 3rd idea can be added. Sometimes you can add a 3rd idea also. So when he chuckles, we know that everything is going to be all right. So when he raises his eyebrows, smiles, and chuckles, we know that everything is going to be all right. By the way, if there is any word that is difficult for you, please try to check your dictionary. And as I told you before, this is the best way to learn English. Just check whatever word that you don't know in your dictionary. So it's very important to check your dictionary for each word. Now we go to the next one. Notice that raises, smiles, and chuckles are all present tense verbs. As we said before, parallel structure should have the same words, whether they are verb, subject, or adjective or adverb. Then we have another examples. So we have raises, smiles, and chuckles, all present tense verbs. Now look at the following two examples. This is clearly described and carefully summarized what his ideas for the show were. The phrases are parallel because both phrases contain an adverb and a verb, right? So we have adverb which is clearly, and also we have another adverb which is carefully, and also we have verbs which are described and summarized. So clearly is parallel to carefully, and described is parallel to summarized. So verb with verb and adverb with adverb. Last part, we trusted their good writing skills and wonderful sense of humor. So we have here, adjective which is good, and also another adjective which is wonderful. And then we have writing skills which is a noun, and also we have humor which is also another noun. So good goes with wonderful, and writing skills goes with sense of humor. So the phrases are parallel because both phrases contain an adjective and a noun. So we have here adjective and now a noun. So this is also another parallel structure that we have in English. So please try to make sure that you understand the difference here. So we go now, this is the same one we just talked about the clearly we said third idea can be added. So we explained that, and also we said that we look at the following two examples. So we have adverb with adverb and verb with verb, and also we have adjective with adjective, and also we have noun and noun. So this is the different types that we can have parallel structure. So we now go to the exercise on page 129, exercise number 2. Use parallel structure to combine the sentences below. So we have here around 8 8 numbers here. So we'll just try to do some of them together, and you just do or do the following as a homework. So let us start with number 1. So we have the rule now on page 128, and now we have the exercise in this page. So try to think about it and try to combine the two sentences using only one sentence. So number 1, the sentence says, I Love Lucy. I Love Lucy, which is the movie, was exciting to watch, and also I Love Lucy was surprising to watch. So think about it. Since you have the same wording here, just use the same. You can say I Love Lucy was exciting and surprising to watch. So instead of having two sentences, we have only one sentence. So we can say I Love Lucy was exciting and surprising to watch. Number 2, the show's writers worked carefully together. The show's writers worked closely together. So we have the same part at the beginning. So we can say the show's writers worked carefully and closely together. So we can say carefully and closely together. As you can notice here, usually we have the first one, we have adjective with adjective, and now we have adverb with adverb. Usually we have the same part of speech. If it's a verb, the second one should be a verb. If it's an adjective, it should be an adjective. If it's a noun, it should be a noun. If it is an adverb, of course, the second one should be an adverb. So this is the way how to make parallel structure. So now we go to the next slide. Also we have another example. Fuse sisters think that he is irresponsible with money. And the second sentence says, Theo's parents think that he is irresponsible with money. So we have, we have the ending the same, but we have the beginning of the sentence is different. So we can say that Theo's sisters and parents think that he is irresponsible with money, right? So this is very clear, very easy to do. So just try to do the rest as homework. So just do the number 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 as a homework. Just try to follow the same structure. Try to follow the same guidelines, and I'm sure that it will be easy and it will be useful at the same time for you just to learn from and to practice your English and your grammar. So let's go now to the next exercise, which is number 3, page 130. Now describe a humorous TV show or movie that you like. Complete the paragraph below. Use parallel structure. So remember, always try to use parallel structure. This is the most important part of this lesson here. So we should focus on how to write or how to use parallel structure. So let's start the exercise here. It says, I enjoy watching, and then of course you have the name of the TV show or movie. So you can say whatever you like. So I enjoy watching so and so. You just choose whatever movie you like or whatever TV show you like, and then you said I like so and so. Then it is, just give any adjective of that show. You might say it's funny, and it's also humorous, and also it's exciting. So you might just choose one of them, or you have 3 adjectives here. So you can say it's funny, humorous, and exciting. Or any adjective that you like, you can add them here. Also, and the actors are talented because they can perform. You can say add here an adverb. So you can say can perform perfectly and successfully, for example. Or any adverb that you can add here. So we should add 2 adverbs in this part. Remember, always we should have the same part of speech. So if we have an adverb, the second one should be an adverb. Let's continue the exercise. The audience likes to watch them. Here we should have a verb, right? So we can say the audience likes to watch them, comforted and excited, maybe. Or you just add any verb that you like in this place here. So you can say comforted and excited. Okay. Let's continue the exercise. I especially like it because of its maybe funny and styles and exciting parts. So we have adjective, noun, adjective, and noun. So we can say funny, styles. So funny is an adjective, and styles as a noun, and exciting, which is adjective, and parts as a noun. So you can just you can add any word you like in this part, in this regard. Just the most important part, you need to focus on that. If you have a verb, second one should be a verb. If you have adjective, second one should be an adjective. If you have a noun, the second one should be a noun. And if it is an adverb, the second one should be an adverb. So always you should have the same part of speech in the same place. Let's now go to next exercise, same page 130. Noun closes with WH words. So read the following paragraph taken from the story of I Love Lucy. Notice the two underlined phrases. Can you find any similarities in the structure of the underlined? So let's read the paragraph here. This he clearly described and carefully summarized what his ideas for the show were. He told CBS that the show's humor would never be mean or unkind. Ricky and Lucy would be very much in love with each other. Most of all, Ricky would always keep his dignity as a man. He told the writers not to let Lucy surprise him. If Lucy is going to play a trick on me, make it clear to the audience that Ricky knows what is going on. So here the question is, can you find any similarities in the structure of underlined phrases? So we have two phrases here. First one, what is his ideas for the show, where? Second one, what is going on? If you just notice, if you pay attention to the two forms here, the first one starts with what his ideas for the show were. So we have the subject and we have the verb following the subject. While the second one we have what is going on. So we have the verb and then we have the verb is at the beginning. Therefore, this is, what is going on, usually like a question. So if we want to make a question, of course, we should start with the verb and then the subject. While if you want to start just regular sentence, you should have the subject and the verb. So we have here his ideas for the show were, and there we have what is going on. So this is the difference here. So let's now go to the next one. Now look at the sentences. We have this is just to make sure that you know the difference between these two forms, what is his ideas for the show were and what is going on. So we have here verb and maybe the completion of the verb, and the first one, of course, we have the adjective, the subject and then the verb. So let's do the next one, which is the exercise. Next slide. Now look at the sentences below taken from readings 1 and 2. Label the bold-faced parts of the sentences as WH for WH word, S for the subject, and V for the verb. So we have example here. When people think of I Love Lucy, the slapstick comedy is usually what they remember. So the writer here, or the author here, just told us that he wrote WH just above the what, and he wrote S above they and V above remember. So WH word is what, and the subject is they, and the verb here is remember. So we have the WH word, then the subject, and then the verb. This is the order of a sentence like this. So usually we have the WH word, then the subject, then the verb. So let's just go to the next one. But this was also the first chance that Desi and I had to work together, and this was exactly what we wanted to do. So let us now find the WH word and the subject and the verb. So if you just pay attention to carefully to this statement, you will see that WH word is what, and subject is they, and verb is are thinking. So we have the verb are thinking. Sometimes we have the verb, sometimes it can be one word, sometimes can be two words. So for example, the first example, remember, is only one word, but here we have two words, which is are thinking. Okay, we'll just talk about the first one, the first example, but this was also the first chance that Desi and I had to work together, and this was exactly what we wanted to do. So WH word is what, subject is we, and the verb is wanted. The next one, we have another example. So we have WH word is the what, and the subject is they, and the verb is are thinking. So this is the exercise. Try to do the last one, the remaining one, as homework. Try to find the WH word, the subject, and the verb. So this is very easy exercise. I think you have to pay attention to this one in English. Usually have WH word, then the subject, then the verb. So now we go to the next rule, which is on page 131. We have another rule which is very important also. This is a good rule for you to learn from. So noun clauses with WH words. Number one, a noun clause is a subject-verb combination. It can begin with WH or who, what, when, where, why, how, followed by a subject and verb. So Ricky knew when Lucy was playing a trick on him. So we have here an example. So WH word is when, subject is Lucy, and was playing a trick on is a verb. So next one, number two, at the beginning of a sentence, a noun clause is the subject. After the main verb, a noun clause is the object. What America needs to see is happy a happy family. So the subject here, what America needs to see. So this is the subject. Sometimes the subject can be more than one word. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words for one subject. The verb here is, and also the object is the happy family. So therefore, happily family is what America needs to see. So we can just, change it to another form. We just rewrite it and we have the same meaning, of course. Number 3, the verb tense in the noun clause usually follows the verb tense of the main clause. Cliff knew why Theo asked for an advance on his allowance past. I know what kind of man Mr. Cosby is. He is too smart to care. Present. So we have here, once we have past and when we have present. So the verb tense in the noun clause usually follows the verb tense of the main clause, right? So this is very clear example, very good rule for you just to learn from, and this is very important for everybody. Now we go to the next slide, which is, this, we just already talked about this one here. So let's just read the next one. Look at the following questions and answer how does the word order change, how does the verb change. So we have here, what is he like? And I don't know what he is like. So what is he like? We have the verb before the subject. While I don't know what he is like, we have the subject before the verb. So this is the difference. If we have a question, usually we have the verb or the auxiliary verb or the helping verb, which is before the subject. And or sometimes even if it's only one verb, we have it before the subject. While if we have just like, I don't know, then we have the WH word, we should have the subject and then the verb. So there is a difference between just the question and a phrase or a sentence. So then just try to, this is very easy exercise, just try to notice the difference here. What are they thinking, and I don't know what they are thinking. The same form and the same rule. Now we go to the last exercise here. We have writing topics. We just try to write 2 or 3 paragraphs on one of the following topics. Use the same of some of the vocabulary, grammar, and styles that you learned in this unit, okay? So we have here 4 topics. Just choose one of them. Do you prefer humorous or serious TV shows? Explain. Just write, 3 paragraphs. Just write 2 or 3 paragraphs just about this topic. So please try to choose one of them, one of the 4, and try to write your paragraph about them. And this, of course, the most important part in learning English just to learn how to write in English. So this is, of course, if you can write English, it means that your English is perfect. So that's very important for this part, and I think that we should do it as homework. Should do it as a homework, and it's very important just to make sure that you understand the difference. So we have here number 2. Does it help people to watch happy families on TV, or does it give them a false idea about life? Explain. Can people of all countries share the same humor? Explain. How has humor changed from the 1950s to the 1980s to the present? So please try to choose one of these topics and try to write 2 or 3 paragraphs about them, just telling us, your ideas and your details using the same rules that you have studied here. And that's all for today. وهذا كان هو آخر ما في الحلقة الثامنة، وإلى اللقاء في الحلقة القادمة بإذن الله، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.